With Thanksgiving around the corner, what better time for National Clean Out Your Fridge Day, which is this Sunday. It's time to get those fridges spick and span for the holiday cooking that'll be taking place in less than 2 weeks. Joining us is Shaylin Gerzik, a registered dietitian with Henry Ford Health System, to give us some pro tips on how to prep and keep our households safe and healthy. Thank you so much for being with us.
Hi, thank you for having me.
It's great to have you on the show again. So let's get right into it. What are some common things that we tend to hold on to too long?
For sure. And before we get started, just Henry Ford Healthcare System would just like to remind everybody with the holidays coming up, not only are we going to talk about food safety today, but we want to remind everyone to continue to wear their masks and social distance and really be cautious about who you're letting in your homes during the holidays.
That's right. That's right. Very true. Because we got to take care of that part and also, take care of that before we start taking care of our fridge and everything else that we're going to be sharing with each other.
Exactly.
Yep.
So
what do we hang on to too long? Like, what do we need to get rid of?
Exactly. Well, let's open up the fridge here and see some of those things that maybe should have been tossed a while ago. So, okay, so we'll open up the fridge here. And definitely always want to have caution with condiments. That's where we tend to get in trouble a lot. We maybe only use a little bit and then we stick it in the fridge and we maybe forget how long it's been in there. So here, which is typically where we also keep our condiments, is this side door because it's where the warmest part of the fridge. So we want to put food here that might not spoil as quickly or have as high of a food safety risk. So that's why condiments are a good spot to put in the side door of your fridge. So you just want to make sure you're checking dates here. So like this one, creamy horseradish, this has an expiration date of April 10th, 2019.
Ooh.
So this is definitely old and we got to get rid of it.
Okay. I think that's a big thing, is checking the expiration dates. I kind of overlook those at times, I'll be completely honest.
Yeah, as I say, so we get in trouble with there a lot. And the other thing, leftovers.
Ah.
As I say, if you're not even marking easy way, you could always mark dates by yourself with a piece of tape and a Sharpie. You could write, when you cook that meal. But general rule of thumb, we only want leftovers in there for about 3 days or so, 3 to 4 days, and then we got to toss them.
Okay. Because we all hate wasting food too, because it's such a thing to go to the grocery store and so on. So 3 to 4 days for leftovers. All right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if they're going to stay in the fridge, you can always freeze it and then take it out later when you're ready to eat it. So maybe if you made a big pot of chili or something.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. Put it in the freezer. Now, what are some things that will last in the fridge for a while?
Eggs is one where typically if they're stored properly, that can probably last up to 3 to 5 weeks.
Okay. Good to know.
Yep. And the other thing with the fridge is just kind of how we're storing things. So I talked about earlier about how the warmest part of the fridge is the door. And so the coolest part of the fridge down below is that bottom shelf, tends to be the coldest. And so the coldest spot in the fridge is where we want to put those foods that are the highest safety risk. So those raw, ready to, your raw foods like your meats, your poultry, fish, that kind of stuff that hasn't been cooked yet, we want to make sure is in the coldest part of the fridge. So when you're unthawing that Thanksgiving turkey, we want to put it in the coldest part of the fridge.
That's such a great tip, because when I'm unthawing meat, I just put it in that middle shelf wherever it can fit. So I should really have that on that bottom shelf of my refrigerator. That's the actual coldest part.
Yep, that's the coldest part, because when you think about it, every time you're opening that fridge door, these shelves are those top shelves are the ones that tend to get the warmest or the most amount of the warm air coming in. So those are the shelves, those top shelves. We want to have more of those raw, ready-to-eat foods, maybe things like your cheeses or any fresh fruits or vegetables could be stored up there as well too, or even those leftover foods that have already been cooked.
All right, that's a great pro tip. Now, you also say that the fridge needs to be adequately cold, and that's essential to avoid bacterial growth, right?
Exactly. That fridge should always be at 40 degrees or less.
Awesome. All right, so you got any last tips for us? Anything else we should know?
Well, as far as cleaning out your fridge, So definitely, if you need to wash anything, you can always use hot water and soap just to clean things, but you want to make sure those shelves in the fridge have cooled down before you put the hot water on there because that could break the glass.
Okay.
And then if you're disinfecting, you can just use bleach, a tablespoon of bleach in a gallon of water to disinfect.
All right, well, we are all set to put it for our Thanksgiving and nice clean fridge ready for the holiday. Thank you so much for being with us. This is really helpful information to get the process started before Turkey Day. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, and try to keep everybody safe this Thanksgiving.
Thank you.